Okay, thank you all so much for joining. My name is Temi Akinwumi. I go by Prof. Temi. Tonight we're discussing Tech Career Mapping and Clarity Part 1. So thank you for joining. You are in the Tech Empower House room. In case you have not joined the room or you have not, followed the room, please do so. And every day, every week, actually, on Saturday and on Friday and Sunday, we meet here. So if you look under my bio, you will see all the instruction, all the information. On Friday, we meet at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Sunday, we meet at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So we discuss around tech career. So different things about tech career, from resumes to cover letter to interviews, the different types of interviews. We discuss about your career mindset and skill sets. We discuss our skill set. We decode different skill set and what is needed. So when you come in here, you are sure that you're going to learn one or two things that will be beneficial to you in your industry. A quick intro. I go by Prof. Temi. I've been in tech for over 26 years, and I'm the CEO of Top Group Technologies. So I've had my company now. Excuse me, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I've had my company now for 16 years. So I love to give back to the community. I've supported a lot of Fortune 500 companies and worked on some intelligence projects that I can discuss on here. So I like to give back. Right now, I've mentored like over 1,000 plus engineers because we're into training as well. So you see a lot of people on this in the second row. They are all my students pretty much. So and many other people in the room. So I love to give back and to support. So tonight, so much. I really appreciate your support. I was going to make sure in case you want to keep things going. Yeah, something is just. Welcome back. Things like this happen sometimes. I'm so sorry. Please bear with me. So I've been in tech life for a while. So I love to give back and to empower the community. So that's where you see me discussing things like this. These are problems that a lot of people are having. The question they call me nonstop asking, not really sure how to map their career and how to not having a clarity about their career. So it's going to be two parts. The first part, we are going to be looking at mapping your career. Then on Sunday, we come back and actually do an assessment. So it's going to be hands-on. So you can get a pen and a paper because we're going to go through this question and you're going to answer those questions. So by the time we finish the program, you'll be able to have a very good understanding of what you actually love to do. So tech career mapping and clarity. And as I always say, I have my presentation. I don't just come to Clubhouse to talk. I do a great presentation and I is available. So that's what it is. And it's going to see all of these videos also like on YouTube and stuff like that. So I kind of prepare that so that when you want to access it, you can access it later. So career tech mapping and clarity. So we're gonna get into it. But before I go on, I would let Robert introduce himself and then we'll continue. So if you have any questions, get your questions ready. If you want to contribute, please come up. This is not my room, it's our room. We are coming together to empower ourselves. So this is it. So we're gonna do that. So Robert's gonna introduce himself. If you have not followed the moderators, please do that. And if you've not followed Tech Empower House, please do that. Please, Robert, introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robert. I am a senior project manager and actually have worked in the energy, oil and gas, and chemical space. And like Temi, really eager to kind of share share stories and kind of tips and other things on what works. I'm actually very interested in tech myself, and I guess we can kind of speak to that in a little bit. But again, just really here to hopefully help out however I can in supporting Ms. Temi and everyone else that's here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate you because you're also in the process of getting into tech. You're a manager on your own right, but you're getting into tech. Tech is new to you, but I really appreciate the fact that you come up here to help. So, and with that, you kind of getting along also on your process gradually, and that's actually giving you an edge. So I really appreciate that coming up to support. Thank you so much. So today we're going to start with looking into when you're trying to break into tech or any other career. Have it in mind, even though you are in this room and you are not going into tech, you might be trying to breaking into other career. This is useful to you as well because it's generic. My presentation is generic. So when you break into tech, right, when you're trying to break into tech or any other career, you need to have a clear understanding of your talents, your passion, and your mission. So what am I talking about when I say talent? And when I say passion and when I say mission? When you are clear on who you are and what you want to do, you'll be able to project confidence during your interview process, and that will help you to speed up your job search. Because if you don't know who you are or what you want to do, there's a problem. You're probably forcing yourself to do it because I saw my friend doing it, I want to do it. Do you really want to do it? Are you sure that's who you are? You need to ask that question to yourself. And take a few minutes to discover what you want to do, what you are made to do. What are you made to do? You need to discover that. And that's what I call a sweet spot. So you have to find a sweet spot between your talents, your passion, and your mission. So in this part one, you will see us a lot talking about talent, passion, and mission. So when we get in that sweet spot to discover a clarity of what actually we want to do, then on Sunday we'll go into assessing ourselves and mapping our career so that we can have a career path. Because if we don't do that, then you get burned out. In the middle of your career, you get frustrated and burned out because you are just doing it because your friend is doing it or somebody else is doing it. So now when I talk about the sweet spot, everybody has a sweet spot, which is your talent, your passion, and your mission. Your talent is what you do best. What do you do best? That even if they don't pay you for it, you still want to do it. You just love it. That's what you do best. Passion. What do you love to do? What are you passionate about? And you may think talent and passion is the same, but it's not. I will define that as we go. Mission. Results that matter to you. What are the things that you are born to, that you feel accomplished seeing it? That is your mission. So we are going to be looking at your talent, your passion, and your mission. What is your talent? What you do best? What are the things that you do best? You need to get a pen and a paper because you're going to be writing things down. This is like an exercise that will help us. So talent, what do you do best, including your hard skill and your soft skills? In most cases, you see some people having hard skills and they forget about their soft skills. Hard skill are skills like we discussed this a lot in this room. Hard skill are skills that are teachable skills, like you're a software engineer, you know HTML, JavaScript, all of those, C++, and all of that, right? If you're a project manager, you know about project management, or Agile Scrum. If you're data analysis, you know as SQL, Python, maybe Power BI, Tableau, and all of that. Those are your hard skills. What about your soft skills? Your soft skills are skills that are transferable. They are like inborn, things that you have that you don't really even pay attention to. We're going to talk about that, okay? So these should be tasks and roles that come easily to you and has been pointed out to you by others. They might be saying, oh, you are very good at this. You are very good at this. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, that's your talent. Example of talent can be communication. Some people are very good with communicating. Writing. Some people are so born to write. They can write. They just love to write. It might be public speaking. Some people like to speak in public. They're very good with speaking in public. It might be designing something creative, being creative, designing. That is a talent. Critical thinking. Some people can think. They can help you to think logically and critically. Those are talents. So when you have these talents, when you communicate very well, what can you use that for in your career? When you write very well, what can you use that for in your career? Public speaking, when you speak very well, what can you use that for? When you love the design or critical thinking. So communication, for example, if you communicate, and Robert, please, if you want to come in anytime, please do. When you communicate very well, that means you can be a public speaker. You can be a business analyst to meet customer and discuss to customer about the project. You can be a good manager. If you like to write, you might be a technical writer. You might be a system engineer that knows, or maybe you write very well. You want to write about products, product managers that write about the products. And if you like to public speaking, you speak a lot too. Communication and speaking also, they kind of work together. You speak a lot. You want to represent the company. You can find yourself in those areas. Designing. If you like to design, you might be a product designer, or like all this Apple, the fan company like Facebook, Apple, Netflix. Think about it. Google and all of this company, right? They love design. They design things, and a lot of them are great company that need people, right? So designing, you can be a UX designer that design the front end application designer, or back or programmer, that like to write programs. So those are a designer. You like to design, or graphic designer. You write to create graphics, or you like to create websites, things like that. Designing. Critical thinking. If you think critically, you like to think deeply, you can be a programmer, you can be database analyst, or and things like that. So there are so many areas which you can use your soft skill as well as your hard skill. Soft skill also can be self-motivated. If you are self-motivated, you are passionate, you are organized, you are, things like that. Those are skills also that are transferable. We discussed that before in this room. So all those skills are transferable skills. Your talent is what you do best. So now questions. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I was going to say, would it help if maybe to give an example that maybe I can share of maybe how to, because I like what you said about the sweet spot and about, how do you combine those different aspects of your story, what it is that you do well, and what, basically almost what would you do if you didn't need money, right? So I just want to say, would it be maybe okay if I kind of shared an example of, how would someone go through that process pretty quickly?
Yes, go ahead, please. Yes.
Okay. Sure. So I was going to say, because I like what you said about the sweet spot, and I think just to kind of give people a little different perspective, or a little maybe expand on that, because I think for me, if we were going to say, it's saying, who are you, or who is your story, or who are you, and what is your story, and say for me, if I was going to look at, say, a career in healthcare tech, I might say, I have children, and when they were born, I saw the dedication of the people in the hospital to getting them healthy and getting them home, so that we could really start our family, right? And being able to kind of understand and share that with people, and being able to say, why is it important for you to work in healthcare? That would be an example. So, seeing that, having a story and a background and a reason, not just say, I want to work for a FANG company, but, there's something that touched you personally, or that you've used their products, or you have experience that can actually differentiate you from other candidates when you're interviewing. And another thing is just kind of like, what excites you? If it's technology, and then what about it? What about technology? Is it existing technology or new things? And what about that technology is relevant to a company you want to work for. And then, the skills and success that you bring would also be a part of it. So, for me, I might say, well, I've been a customer in healthcare, and I really like technology. And the thing that I can bring is the ability to bring that outside perspective and deliver projects, because that's what I do, in a way that lets the technology make people's lives better or help them, right? So I think it's, if I just say, well, I want to work for a company and I'm technically proficient, versus saying that I have experience as a person and I'm real and people can relate to that, it will actually make me stand out. So I guess that would be one thing, is just for people to keep in mind when you think about your story and your sweet spot, you can actually make it more personal and how you've been impacted by a company's products or services, and really make it something that they can actually relate to you as a person. And I think that makes you kind of a lot more memorable too if you're doing interviewing. They won't just remember your technical proficiency, but actually remember you and your story and how you can be connected to the company. And the idea for me is get people used to the thought of you fitting in with them, and them seeing you sit side by side with them working every day. So I guess that would be the thing that I would kind of say is, think about your story and the things that you like and the skills that you can bring, and how you combine all of that to making yourself sound like you do fit in. And then when you tell stories and answer questions in an interview, you can always kind of frame them that way. So I think that would be kind of one thing I would suggest, is for people to kind of think about that as part of their process for preparing for a job, is to think about those things and be ready to explain them when you do an interview. I think it actually it seems to really, when I hear feedback on that, people really get excited about the way that you explain it if you frame things that way. So I just wanted to kind of share that. And I'm Robert, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Robert. That's a very good perspective to have clarity about why do you want to work for the company. Maybe you have anything that is emotionally, attached to, and things like that. So, and you have your own story to share with the company. That would be a great one. And Tutu, welcome. Today we are discussing about tech career mapping and clarity. We're looking at what is when you want to get a clarity on your career. What are the things that we look into? And for people that are just getting in, we're looking at your passion, your mission, and your talent. When you combine the three together, you get a sweet spot, which is pretty much looking at what you want to do, what do you do best, and what matters to you. So this is what we're looking at today. And we're looking at talent right now. We're discussing about talent. So Tutu, do you have want to introduce yourself and chime in before we continue?
Hi everyone, my name is Tutu. I don't really have as much to say. I'm just here to fill out the room and see what we can, I guess, to see how we can help people map their career into different fields, and maybe like a quick self-assessment for people. And Miss Temi, Professor Temi, has been my mentor for over 5 years now, and she has basically helped me map my career. By just speaking to me, she was able to tell me, hey, this is what would be good for you. You have this great way of speaking to people, and this will be great for you, and you have this under your belt, you have that skill. And so, I'm just here to, and she's also been my professor. Also, I've taken, 3 of her classes. I'm currently taking a 4th class from her. So, so if anyone wants to map their career, we can do a self-assessment. Don't be shy. We're just going to ask you a brief question. Based on what you answer us, we can probably help you. My name is Tutu Nando.
Thank you, Tutu, for that. Today, we're trying to map career and discuss generally about clarity. And we have a lot to discuss. Then, when we have a clarity of what we want to do, on Sunday, when we come back, we'll now start talking about assessment. And because it's 1 and 2. So this is part 1. So part 2 is actually mapping and having a career path and assessment. So today we're going to be doing some assessment too, but you answer those questions yourself to determine your talent, your mission, and your passion. Alan just came by. Thank you, Alan, for coming by. Any question or any contribution?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Teresa, for
Teresa actually pinged me, and yeah, she's a friend. My name is Alan, a cybersecurity student. I'm in school now studying cybersecurity. And in fact, I really love this conversation because I am going through what I call tutorial hell right now. We are in the States now, and as it were, there's so much of information to grasp. If you really want to learn, one of the things that I realized is that the resources are available. And so I started out with the cybersecurity thing, analyzing threats, vulnerability threats, and, all those stuff in school. And I loved it. I loved it. But along the way, as I was going through the job search, I realized that most of these companies also wanted people with this experience in coding, like you mentioned, Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and all those stuff. So I said, okay, let me jump into that and learn a bit from it. So I started with a coding thing, and I realized, oh, okay, this part is also very interesting, So I could stay up all night learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all that. So right now it's like I'm torn between the two, and I don't want to actually do it in bits. If it's cybersecurity, I want to go all out. If it's the coding and all of that, I also want to go all out. But I just don't really know where I stand now to be able to get myself ready for the job market. So I don't know if you can share your opinion on how I can, if I have to blend the two, how I can blend both, or how I can focus on one. I'm really confused right about now. Thank you. My name is Alan, and I'm done speaking.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you, Alan, for coming back. When I say there are information out there, you have so much information. You have so much information to get confused. And that's what I always tell people. That's why you need a mentor. You don't need coding. If you want to do cybersecurity, focus on cybersecurity and leave coding alone. Okay? I started off as a software engineer. I have bachelor's in computer science, and I have master in cybersecurity and also master in software engineering from University of Maryland and University of UDC. So when I tell people, people say, oh, I can go on Udemy and get a course. Great, go get a course on Udemy. You will notice that you get so much free courses or $10 course and you don't even do nothing with it. Why? Because of this kind of issues. So you are there, you are enjoying all these courses, then you get distracted and go into other things because when you search for a job, you get confused. So the thing is that cybersecurity is very vast. You have tons and tons of job descriptions. So there's a way you have to search for job. You don't just search for job like you search for job, you just put cybersecurity. When you just put cybersecurity on there, you will notice that everything will come. Every type of cybersecurity will come. So we have, I think you're probably doing the SOC, for vulnerability management or pen testing. Which type of cybersecurity are you doing, Alan?
For now, the focus in school is not really on whether ethical hacking. Actually, that is what I wanted to do, ethical hacking. Yeah, but now we are getting the basics. Now it's the basics, what we are doing in school now is all about the basics and all that.
See, there's nothing you learn in tech that is wasted. Okay, but the major thing is to focus. Whatever you want to do right now, if you're trying to be an ethical hacker, then focus on those courses that you need and master it very well. Like we discussed last week, you don't even have to be in college to get into tech, even into cybersecurity. The easiest cybersecurity that you can get into is the compliance side, which is risk management. Like I probably have like up to 6, 7 of my students here. So when you get into that, when you use compliance, Security Plus, okay, I'm sure you've had Security Plus before. Security Plus and the risk management. If you're in college, you're probably going to do that as well. Those two, you can prep that to get in, because when you get into that side of tech, which is the compliance side, the risk management side, it's not too technical. All you have to understand is the controls and to get in from there. When you go into like CISA Plus, Cybersecurity Analyst Lab, then you have to learn about the different labs, the different tools more. Even though in the risk management, you still learn about, when you do assessment, you still learn about tools like Nessus, Wireshark, Nmap. I don't want to go too much into that because that's not what we're doing today, but I just want to help you a little bit. So when you go into all those areas, you will notice that you will still learn Nessus, Nmap, and Wireshark, okay? So when you go into those areas, those are the tools, basic tools that you will need to at least to get into the compliance side. But if you are going to the CISA side, which is more of a SOC analyst, more of hands-on engineering, cybersecurity engineering, then you learn more tools than these other ones I mentioned. And that's good enough. But coding, I don't think you need to go too deep into coding because you are not going into like programming. So you probably can do some code review, but that will be later. But for right now, you don't need coding. Focus, because if you get distracted and you're all over the place, that's a problem. Okay? You'll be jack of all trade and master of none, and you get burned out. So that's a problem. So focus on the basic cybersecurity, the core that you need, and then you can go from there. Later, when you start becoming a manager or working with coders, then you can look more into coding. But whatever coding you've done so far, if it's not required for your college, don't bother about it. Okay? That I'll stop right there and see if anybody else can chime in. Did that help you a little bit?
You did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other? Okay, maybe.
Hi.
Peju, welcome. Is it okay
if I chime in?
Yeah.
Hi.
Peju, welcome.
I just joined to support. I saw you in one of, I think, Jared's room before, and we're kind of in the same field, so it's so exciting. I just wanted to join you today. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And if anybody hears anything you said today, it's the fact that information overload gets more confusing. So I just wanted, when I heard you say that, I was just like, amen. Thank you very much for saying that. I hope people really take that as a takeaway, that the $10 courses on Udemy don't teach you the steps that you really need to follow. You need to be able to take the information and make sense out of it. So love what you're doing, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Peju. I hope you can stay by and support us. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to say something real quick. Same thing happened to me, and I just thought it was just me. I just thought that, well, maybe I'm just the only one, and I don't know. So what Miss Temi just resonated with me. I have right now, I would say, maybe 4 courses on Udemy, and I've even used 2 different emails. I don't know why, because I forgot the password or something. I don't know. And I've never finished any of them. Not one. Not one. And I would pay like $12.99 or $10.99 or $9.99 for them. And it would, they would send me notification that it was cheaper and it's, save money. I have never finished any of those Udemy courses. Never. I used to just, religiously listen to them as I was driving to work. But it just got to a point that was just too much. And it was just a lot. I just didn't care for it anymore. I mean, it's the look of it, the interface is pretty, right? But it was still a lot to just, even though it's at your own convenience, but it's still information overload. And you don't get that push because you can just look at Udemy at your own time. And I have spent more time probably looking at the YouTube, just picking up YouTube here and there and learning more from YouTube than from even the Udemy courses that I have. I've never completed any of my Udemy courses, never. And I just felt like I wasted my money because I didn't even need it, because I've already taken Professor Temi's class, right? I waste my money? I don't know. I've already taken her class. And her class was all I needed, really, You can use it as a supplement, but don't rely on it as far as don't look at Udemy as your end all be all, as if that's all you're going to use and that's what's going to get you through the door, because you'll just get overwhelmed. My name is Tutu, and I'm done.
Yeah, and that's what even I found out. A lot of people take Udemy courses. Then they come on Clubhouse and follow me around. Miss Temi, can you help me with my resume? Miss Temi, can you do my interview for me? Miss Temi, can I pay you to do my interview? I say, seriously? I don't do such. You're gonna do your own interview? You're gonna do, I can't do a resume where I don't know where you've been and where you study. I can't. What will I put on the resume? You don't have any experience. What do you want me to put on the resume? Because the thing is that you will need a reference. They will call me and I'll be your refer. I will have to refer you or be your reference. And what do I say? I don't know what you can do. They give you something to do at the job and you screw everything up. It's gonna be on me or on who? So that's a problem. That's why you need a mentor, somebody that's going to guide your project, somebody that's going to oversee you and mentor you for life and make sure that you are doing the right thing. So if I don't do that for you, it's hard for me to be your reference or to do your resume. Or maybe you have a resume, I can guide you. But if you, what do I put on a resume? Lie that I know you and you're under my company? So it's kind of hard. So that's the thing. You need a mentor, a mentor. If you do any of this program that I offer, I know I can guide you and I'm sure, I mean, you don't have to go and spend so much money in college. I've seen some students, they're supposed to take classes, then they decide, oh no, I'll go to college. Now they're in college, they're confused and they start calling, Miss Temi, I'm in college now, I don't know what to do. I will have taken your class. I said, well, good luck to you. I don't know what to tell you. Now you can't get a job. Now you can't even, you have like 40,000, 50,000 student loan, and then you can't even get a job. And then you do, even the school is not going to be your reference. They can't be your reference. It's your own. So what are you going to gain afterwards? And even getting to internship is kind of difficult. How many people are they going to take as intern for Google or for AWS? How many people are they going to take? So the best thing is to get into these courses, and then whoever trained you, maybe you can get a couple of years experience from working with them, and they can help you get into the job market. One of the one of my students last week, Scrum Master, from nothing, $70 an hour. I even screamed when he told me. He said, Miss Temi, I got a job. $70 an hour, Scrum Master, 4 weeks class. That's all. 4 weeks with projects. Talk about security plus too. Because when you call me, when you talk to me, I help you to map your career. I talk to you. The first thing I ask you, what do you like to do? Tell me about your background. So that will help you to map and to do clarity before I put you in any class. I don't just put anybody in any class. I talk to you. Some people might have done some things before, some classes before. Then I know, okay, you like to do this. Okay, let's go. So when you don't have that, you get confused. So that's the thing, you get confused. So, but hopefully, this program today will guide us a lot so that we don't get confused and we have clarity of how to go forward. So some of the questions that I'm going to be asking us about talent. Now we're looking at talent. We're going to look at talent, passion, and our mission. So today we're looking at talent, right? So talent, what subject or activity did you excel in school? When you are in school, you should have loved something very well. Like when I was in school, I love anything science. I love maths. My dad, influence from my dad, his first degree was mathematics. So anything I wake up, I'm sleeping in his library, everywhere is math stuff. So it's like calculation everywhere. So I can't escape it. So I'm stuck in maths when I was growing up. So I love maths so much. Even every time, maybe after school, I'm doing maths, some math lecture or lesson or tutorial with a teacher somewhere, or even on summer camp, summertime when everybody's having fun, I mean some math stuff. So I'm kind of stuck in maths. So I tend to love science that way. It's just in the family, right? So what subject do you excel? What do you like to do in school? Think about it. Then what has always come easy to you? Like maths come easy to me. You see me when I'm just by myself, right? When I was growing up as a teenager, I will take, like I'll take the textbook and I'll start doing maths myself. And I go to the back and grade it myself. It's crazy. Nobody does that. But I just see myself doing it as fun because I'm stuck like I don't know. I don't know what I was doing then, but I love it. You understand what I'm saying? It has helped me today because I love to study a lot. So what are the things that comes easy to you? Think about it. What comes easy to you? So we have to write this in. Yes.
Can I maybe maybe add something to this, because I really like what you're saying here. And
yes.
It really sparked an idea for me as well. I think one of the key things that you're saying, and you also mentioned about having a mentor, but you said know yourself, right? Really, I mean, it's really what you're saying. We have to know ourselves.
Yes.
We have to know what excites us. What is it that, if somebody's going to stay up all night working on, learning how to code, something that's not even related to school, but if they're going to stay up all night because they like something so much, they have that passion, it probably would tell me something, right? But I think your point about having a mentor is probably just as important, because a mentor can really kind of provide you and give that guidance and ask the right questions to say, well, it's not just about what you like, but how do you build a path in a career out of those things, right? And I guess I was going to point out too. So one of my coworkers is actually here. So she is actually, so Tara's here on the stage, and I don't know if she wants to maybe share something or maybe ask a question, but so we're actually working on a mentoring initiative at the company that we work at. So she may want to speak to that as well. But I was going to point out, I think you absolutely agree, the importance of a mentor definitely cannot be understated, especially when you're trying to figure out your path. So that's what I was going to kind of point out. I really like how you bring that up, and I'm Robert, and I'm done speaking.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zara. Yeah, great to meet you all. And I came on stage because I really resonate with starting courses and then stopping halfway through, like when I get busy at work or I have something else I want to explore. And I love the idea of figuring out a plan first before signing up for a bunch of classes, because there's kind of this pressure in tech to, always take something, always be learning something. But I, like Ms. Tutz was saying, I've learned more just, looking at blogs and watching videos here and there, getting a lay of the land than taking a course or reading a book. And it's more and more of the same, which is good. But if you know that that's what you want to learn, there's so many times I got partway through something and then I was like, yeah, I actually don't know if I want to focus on this. And I'm finding that the busier I get, I need to be more strategic. And I've been seeking out mentors who understand that, because a lot of people still have that mindset from high school where it's, just work hard, just make time, yada, yada, yada. But there's so much information out there now that you need to be strategic too. And, I think it's very important to recognize that exploring is learning as well. What we're doing here, this is legitimate. And I really appreciate what you're doing, Ms. Temi. And yeah, I think I've heard the term meta learning. There was a podcast I watched. I think it was called Accelerate Learning to Bootstrap Your Career. And it was about talking to people about what approach to take to learning a subject before actually starting learning it. And I wish I would have stumbled upon that sooner. But yeah, I'm a software engineer and thinking I want to move towards something that's more ideation and less implementation. So thinking probably product management or maybe data science. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much, Tara, for coming by, and we hope to see more of you. We are always here on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We really love to have minds like this that will help us to, dissect our topic and help people that are trying to get into tech. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I see Kate here. Kate, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any contribution?
I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me. I just wanted to say hello and chime in if I can provide some value to the room. Otherwise, I'm really looking forward to, see what job seekers are going through and how we can better help them. So, just wanted to say hello, and I'll kind of keep quiet unless you want someone to chime in and provide some insight. I do specialize in partnering with IT job seekers, so I'm happy to work with you guys and give you some advice.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Yeah, oh no, that's okay. Thank you so much, Kate. I think I've seen you a lot in the Jara's room, and as well, I think I've been into some of your rooms as well. So thank you so much for those great rooms. Yeah, today we are discussing tech career mapping and clarity. So if you want to chime in with, we already discussed about talent. So we're trying to see questions about talent. Discovering your talent is what we're treating. Trying to see what talent do we have that we may not know that we have. So that's what we're just looking down into, and I'm kind of using myself as a guinea pig so that people can, maybe that will help them to think about their talent as well. Even right back from childhood, from school, from elementary school. Think about it. What are your talents? Something like that. Then we're going to look at passion and mission. So hopefully on Sunday we're going to start discussing about how do we map our career and how do we do our self-assessments and things like that. So that's it's part one and part two. So if you have any you want to chime in anytime, any day, you are feel free to just popcorn style, that's fine. It's not my room, it's our room, and we're working together to empower our community. So today, like I said, we're looking at what are the things that you do well when you're in school. What are the things that come to you easily? You know, what are the things that other people compliment you on that you did and they say, wow, this is excellent. Maybe you drew something, it was so nice, and you don't even know you can draw so much. You're trying to hide it. I was like, wow, this is great. And you'll be like, okay, I didn't know I am this good. So things like that. So those are the things that comes to you easily, you know. And Nikita, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And what do others ask you to help them on? Sometimes people see you and be like, oh, can you help me with this? That means you are so good in that thing that some people are even asking you to help them, you know, or things like that. So those are the things that are your talent. If you want to chime in, anybody want to take it as talent, maybe you have some input on talent, echo anything I've said. Any takers on talent? We're discussing about talent, your talent. What comes to you easily? Any addition to that?
Well, I think, Ms. Temi, I was just going to say quickly, I really like the way you're framing that. I think it's, and I heard this a little earlier in another room, is what is it that people give you, like you say, what do people give you compliments on? What do you, when you repeatedly hear, I like the way you did that, or, when people come to you, why do people come to you? It's like if they use you as a sounding board, if they like your insights in a particular, area of expertise and things like that. It's like you almost kind of take cues from what other people do and how they gravitate around you and your strengths to almost, I don't think sometimes we don't notice those, but when people consistently do that, I think that's a kind of a key for us if we pay attention and we're more self-aware. That's actually a really good way to find what our talents are, because other people are trying to tell us, and sometimes we just have to listen. So I like the way that you're kind of saying is, when people come to us and when they ask and when they reach out, that's definitely, I think, I need to pay attention even for myself. Should be definitely a cue for us to listen and take that in and build on that as much as we can. I'm Robert, and I'm done.
This is Kate. You've got me thinking about my own talents and how I sort of discovered my little home in the career space. And it started back in like kindergarten or even preschool, where I was such a geeky kid, guys. I read all the time. Like, I read so much, I had to borrow my brother and sister's library cards so I could check out enough books. But I loved to read, and in kindergarten, I entered a couple like writing contests, and I won one, and that was exciting. And, as I grew older, I was the go-to person. People would ask me to look over their high school papers. I started having people ask me to revise their resumes. Or at work, I became the person who was the editor. And so regardless of whether I was teaching marine science to kids or creating marketing copy for my sales job, I was always incorporating some type of writing. And it took me years to figure out what I could do with my writing talent, that it was truly a talent, and how I could combine it with the other talents that were just sort of disconnected in my mind. And I think that's the big challenge here, isn't it? Trying to put those pieces together. And I think one thing that I really struggled with, I'd be curious to hear what other folks have to say, is that I'm realizing now as a career coach, there are so many different types of roles. And I truly do believe there is, a great role for each of us. Maybe not the perfect role, but the right role, whether that's working for a corporation or it's working for yourself. And I think what tripped me up a lot is just not being aware of all those options. And I think I probably should have done a little bit more exploration about what my talents were and how it might match up to a profession. But I didn't see it. So I'm hoping there are other people who struggled the same, or, finally realized at some point in their life and had a turning point where they were able to discover what those talents were and then combine them with other things they were good at to find their next career. This is Kate, and I'm finished speaking.
Thank you so much, Kate. That's great. Yes, discovering our talent early is really great. Thank you for joining. Alia.
Thank you, Ms. Kate. Yeah, I pulled him up.
Okay.
Ali, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself. I read your bio and I see that I think you studied computer science, Python, and all those good stuff from like software. If you could you're a new grad. If you have any questions, we can probably give you some advice. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm just in my last year of master's in computer science, and I've been searching for new grad position as a software developer. And this is my first session on this application. So yeah, I have nothing much to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And maybe you come by whenever you have a question. We're always here on Friday, 6 p.m. and on Sunday at 4 p.m. And you can also follow the room so that you get notification when we're coming up with any programs. And you try and follow the moderators that can really, provide value to you. Thank you for joining and for coming back.
Thank you, Temi.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good to be in the group.
Thank you so much. So now we're going to look into passion. If we're done with discussing on talent for now, we're still going to come back to it. So passion, what is passion? Passion is work you love to do, something that you love to do, that you really love, that you are passionate about, that you are excited to go to work and get fulfilled in your career. Without even being paid, you just love it. Often people think talent is also passion. They are related, but it's not. Talent is different from passion. So these are some of the indicators of something you are passionate about. Something that before you begin, you are always looking forward to it. You're always looking forward to that thing before you even begin it. When you're in the middle of it, you are always so excited that you're doing it. And after you finish it, you feel so proud of whatever you have done with it. That is your passion. If you look forward to it before you even get started, and you're in the middle of it, you are so excited that you're doing it, you don't feel tired of it, and when you finish it, you feel so proud of yourself, of your accomplishment. That is your passion. And even as time flies by, you are still engaged with it. You can be on it all day and all night. Like I mentioned, I started off as a software engineer. So I've been doing software engineering for like over 20 something years. So there was a time I'm creating a website for my company. I'm working with the developers that I employ to do it, right? So I'm guiding them. I noticed that I spent 2 nights nonstop working with them on those codes. And I noticed it's 6 a.m. in the morning. I was like, what are you doing up? I didn't even feel sleepy or tired because I just love to do it. So this kind of thing is your passion. Some people might be doing it and they're feeling tired, burnt out, but you are always excited to do it. It doesn't have to be coding. You may not even know it yet, but you might have, done it before somehow, but you didn't know. Think about that thing, So you won't even mind suffering for it. And you can work hard for it, whatever it takes for you to get the job done and to stay on it to make sure it's running. That's what it is. That's what you love. Then that's your passion. Because I love tech, right? I'm gonna make myself vulnerable because we're gonna be hearing a lot of things. Because I love tech, right? I started a tech company. So when I started a tech company like 16 years ago, right? So now with COVID, everybody's closing all their companies, but my company is opened. Right now, I've never been in that office this year, but I'm paying the mortgage. I'm paying the rent. It's a lot. It's like you're paying for a house. I'd rather use whatever I have to pay for it. I'm not going to close down that place. If I don't have food to eat, I will leave it on because that is what I want to do. I don't see myself closing down my office. I don't see it. I had like 3 interviews this week, different companies, I told them, I said, if I get a PPP loan or whatever, I'm using to pay my mortgage for my company, my rent. I'm paying my rent because I don't want to close down my company. Maybe I'm emotionally attached to it, but that's my passion. You understand what I'm saying? So yours might not be that. It might be something else. Think about it. What is your passion? So that's when I look back, whatever it is, when I left everything I was doing, 2014, I left everything I was doing and I started my company full time. And people think I'm crazy. Everybody is looking at me. Tell me, are you crazy? You're making this kind of money, you can work 2, 3 jobs and you left it to focus on your company. I said, whatever I would do that would take away time from me focusing on my company full time, I will leave it and focus on my company full time. And I did. I didn't make nothing. I was even using my money, my own salary to pay for the company and pay for my students that are in class, not paying any money. 2 students that will train them for 8 weeks. Some of them will not even pay. But I love to do it. It's my passion. So think about that too. What's your passion? What are you passionate about? In the long run, that's who. If you want to chime in, please, I can talk about this thing forever. But please feel free to just, jump in, please.
Hey, thank you so much. If I can jump in there, I think that's absolutely spot on. You said something that makes sense. Just everything you say makes sense. But for me, like you were saying, I know from a young age I love to teach. Okay, that journey, I was like, okay, but teachers don't make any money. So I went into IT because I also have a passion for IT. But just like you're saying, when it comes to teaching, I don't even think about it twice. I do that. And then the good thing for me, though, is because I have a passion for teaching and tech, that kind of eventually came together where everywhere I worked, like when I worked at Big Four and all those companies, I found myself always asking, where's your training department? How can I volunteer? And the reason I'm also saying that is whenever you have a chance, even as you get into tech, to actually teach people, I don't mean getting paid for it, just to help others out. Do it because it actually also helps you improve your knowledge. So I think your point about passion is spot on, and it's something that it's just right there in you. You can never get away from. I've never been able to get away from my love of teaching. Everywhere I go, it follows me around. So you're right about that. So thank you.
Thank you, Kweju. I really appreciate your contribution. Any other contribution towards that? Your passion? Okay, tell us any passion that you think you have. Tutu, Miss Tutu, you've been too quiet today. What's your passion? I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. So my passion, I've always wanted okay, so my passion is just really working with people, working with the team. I have passion for something that we flexible. So whatever gives me peace is what my passion is really, and also stability, right? But my passion really is, I love writing reports and gathering data and information, and and I've always loved tech. I just didn't know how to come into tech, right? I didn't know how to transition my career into tech. So, being a mentor under Miss Temi, she really taught me that, you didn't have to learn all this coding and programming, and you didn't have, because I'm not good at math, and I'm not going to lie. So I've taken statistics, and that was it, right? And I think I took trigonometry, and that was I wasn't so good as I was in statistics. So realizing that I noticed that in school, in college, I can write forever. Like I can write reports after reports and essays and essays. However, I just didn't know, and I've always wanted stability and flexibility and, in tech, but I didn't know that I didn't have to learn how to code. I didn't have to learn how to program. I mean, it'd be nice if I knew how to code now because I'm really, interested now, but I wasn't interested when I was younger, right? So you have to know yourself. I didn't have the passion for technology as I do now when I was younger because I was always into science, science, science. Fun fact, I actually wanted to be a nurse at first, right? And then I realized, okay, nursing is just really crazy, right? It's really intense. So for me, I like tech. Tech's so much relaxed. There's not much pressure in tech, and there's still stability and everything that comes with it. It's still flexible. As long as you know how to navigate your way into technology, and it's not like if you know that you don't have to do all this math, right? And which is what I learned from Professor Temi. I've always been scared. No one ever told me about, just, going to cybersecurity and information security. I didn't know all of this stuff. I just thought tech people, software engineers were all just tech, the same thing, programming and developing websites. That's just what all I thought it was. And I just never knew that I was going to be all these reports and things I was doing was great for compliance and government risk and compliance. I didn't know about all of that in high school, right? I mean, in college, right? So I just knew that I could write. So now I'm in a field where documentation is, documentation is key. Reports is key, and research is key, and applying frameworks to applications and systems is key. Now I realized, oh wow, this is actually why didn't someone tell me about this a long time ago? If it wasn't for me taking Temi's class, why didn't someone tell me all this? I didn't even know about this kind of passion. I didn't know how to apply the passion that I had, all these reports and essays and research papers. I didn't know that I could apply that into technology. I didn't know that my passion could come into technology because I thought I would just have to do all these codings and binary numbers and writing languages. I thought it was just like all this hard math and I would build hardware. I thought it was all building hardware and then building software. I didn't know that I could apply all these soft skills into technology. And I really didn't even need to do that to, go into specific college university to learn that. Now, I've always been writing reports and papers in high school, right? And I didn't even make the same mistake that I didn't take a chance to take a mentor because I thought I could do it on my own. And I went and got another student loans, went to another online class, university, and I ended up dropping out because, again, I was lost. And we were all online. And that teacher I didn't get the one-on-one mentor from her, right? You don't really even get the office hours because you're not really going to get office hours. It's online. It's online unless you have your instructor or your professor's phone number, and they give you the freedom to call them anytime, which I guarantee you, it's probably very rare for you to get that in a university. And I'm not saying you should not go to a university or college, but I'm saying specifically if you're going to break into a tech career or a career that's very broad, you need just do a training boot camp. Just do a training course boot camp and get a mentor because your mentor is they're going to break everything to you directly. No prerequisites needed. Because when I enrolled in that university, I called the student center and all of them said, yeah, you can just take this class and just take that class. Well, of course, they were accepting anyone. They just wanted your money. And I still wasted money. And I still dropped out. So now I listened to my instinct and said, well, you wasted all that money. You could just call this lady, call her. And when I called Professor Temi, there was no beating around the bush and take all these prerequisites. You take the class and it's, and it's one-on-one. It's one-on-one and she's going at your pace.
Not you having to catch up to the instructor, not the instructor telling you read all these pages and go to this lab and you're on your own. No, she will walk you through it and share her screen, and you can take her class anywhere. I didn't have that kind of opportunity when I was in the university. They just give you the virtual environment and just tell you, go in there and do the lab. And they'll give you the instructions like, step 1, step 2, but they're not showing you like how we have Zoom now and you can share your screen. And that was the sad part. I'm like, a lot of universities now, when I think about it, a lot of schools and universities, they really need to reevaluate the way they teach. They really need to do that. They really need to reevaluate these prerequisites because some of them waste your time, right? And they really need to reevaluate how they accept students in the programs rather than just taking their money. They need to maybe have people do a self-assessment or something, before they take their money. And you go into this broad field and then you don't even know what to do with it. I studied public health, right? And I didn't use any of those, my bachelor's or my master's. I didn't use it, and I have all these loans, no one told me. I didn't even know public health was that broad, right? Because there's like different specializations to it. And I couldn't even get internship. And I didn't have a mentor or nothing. No one to mentor and say, well, specialize in this part, specialize in that part. If you feel like this is too much for you, don't do that one. I didn't even have research experience other than the research that I took in class, just writing papers. So that's why I feel like it's really important to have a mentor and just take a training boot camp, right? It's cheaper anyway, right? It's cheaper than the university. My name is Tutu.
Thank you, Tutu. You said the truth. Because actually right now I'm an adjunct professor. I lecture at 3 universities right now. So I know what you're saying. We come to class based on their schedule. We come to class once a week and that's it. So anything that you have to give to student is recorded and they have to figure it out from there. That's what they do. But like I always say, our classes are hands-on. It's one-on-one. If you don't have any problem, I log on with you anytime and I walk you through. That's it. Like I have a class coming up on May 8th, Cybersecurity Scrum Master classes. If you're interested, let me know. You can follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram. I can answer your questions and help you, with anything that you need. Oh, I say Kyle. Kyle, welcome. Thank you for joining us. You have any question or you want to chime in? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in. One of the things that I really liked about what you were saying just now, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name, was Toots, is you spoke about how people have different ways of learning. I think in the tech world, it's really imperative to, I see a lot of people coming in. I see a project manager in here. I see a lot of different people from different backgrounds that all contribute to tech. And the beautiful part of the tech world is that more so in the future and today, we see the business aspect of the tech world contributing to the overall growth of the sector, right? So we have the marketing people and the finance people, which I spend a lot of time in the finance side. My background is in the programming and the automation side, right? So I'm a bit more technical, but one of the best parts of the tech world, I think, is how diverse you can be and still contribute to grow the entire industry. So I always tell people when they're wanting to get started in tech is, like you were saying, thinking about your strengths, playing your strengths. There's always a role for everyone. May not be in the company you're looking for, but like if you look at Amazon, you have marketing jobs, you have every different type of job, right? So just play your role and what you do best, and that will contribute to the organization you're going to. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I think a lot of people kind of get that idea in their head that they have to know how to program, or they have to know Python, or they have to know how to debug a server, and that's so far from the truth. The truth really comes down to people who are passionate about what they do and want to help people succeed. That's really what it comes down to in the industry, in any industry, really.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carl. We appreciate your coming by. And just look at your bio and I followed you. So thank you. I hope to see you often in our rooms. We're always here on Friday evening, 6 p.m. and Sunday at 4 p.m. We would love to have people like you to come and help our growing community of people that are trying breaking into tech. So we need to hear from you as well. So thank you so much. If you can stay by, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming back. So we're looking at passion, right? We already look at talent and now we're looking at passion. So when you're discovering your passion, so let's look at a couple of examples and scenarios. So look at your calendar, right? And your current job description. Do you see anything that fires you up or that excites you? That's your passion. You know, when you have your calendar, it's always on your calendar. You want to do this during this weekend. You want to do this, over the summertime. You want to do this. That is your passion. Is there a particular subject matter that you find yourself willing, to learn at night, even when you are not at work, or maybe on weekends? You just want to learn more about it. You want to discover more about it. Or maybe you're for people that always go on Udemy to buy courses, you are just buying, like, you have like 10 different versions of the same course. You're just excited, or you're always on YouTube learning about this particular subject. That's your passion. So what are you always reading? The article you always read, you always love to read about. And what do you follow on social media? And who do you follow more? That you always follow this person or that person. You have that as a passion as well. So think about that, because what we're trying to do is get our sweet spot. So our sweet spot will be you're looking at where your passion, your talent, and your mission, wherever they met at that middle is your sweet spot. So that's what we're doing right now. So we're writing down our talent, we're writing down our passion. So we're going to look at what is a mission. Is there any contribution towards passion before I move to mission, so we can get our sweet spot?
Temi, I was going to maybe say, because I like what Carl said, is that, maybe maybe have another thought kind of along these lines, is sometimes we just need to give ourselves permission to take risk. Because he's right. I've actually heard several rooms now that tech is not just about coding. Tech is about a lot of different functions. And
Mo wà ní Clubhouse.
Okay, so you ra oúnjẹ fáwọn ọmọ ẹ.
Mi ì tí rà á.
Okay. Something the other day that says, when you talk about your mindset, it may be more, instead of saying, well, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not good enough to apply for Apple? What if I'm not good enough to work for Amazon? It could be, well, you know what? The question really should be, what if I am good enough and I don't try, then I won't know. And so I think, definitely, if you start to think you're scared, it probably means that what you're thinking about doing or maybe trying means that you're probably going to grow. Because if we don't do that, then we're really not getting better, we're not learning, and we're not expanding our opportunities. So I would just say that I really like, between everybody here, the people that are speaking, it's really just making me kind of think more and more about mindset and the importance of taking risk and learning about ourselves, because that's where we find, like you say, where's the talent, where's the passion. And I know you're going to get to mission next, but I just wanted to point that out. I think it's just great because I keep hearing these same themes in a lot of the different rooms. So I definitely would say we're all onto something, and we just need to listen. And I'm Robert, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, very important to know who you are and what you are in this world for. What are you in this world for? What is your purpose? That is your mission. Your mission is results that matters to you. Why are you here? Ask yourself. It's important to know what contribution you want to make to this world. The result that matters to you, that is your mission. It's your driving force that propels you forward. That in spite of all odds, in spite of all obstacles, you still want to go forward. That is your mission. Why are you here? Most of us are here, we don't know why. But ask yourself. So this is going to help us to know our mission, To determine your mission, we ask ourselves some couple of questions. Who are the people I want to help? Like, I know I want to help people that are trying to get into tech. I've known that for a long time because I love to empower. Like right now, I always say I've empowered over 1,000 plus engineers. But what if I didn't take a step to do it? And I just, because I tend to be a very reserved person. I tend to be very quiet and just do my own thing. That's why I'm into software engineering. I'm still forever a software engineer. Once an engineer, always an engineer, you know. And so I tend to sit on my own corner, just do my coding all day. But there are lives attached to me that I have to help. When everybody's coming to me to help them get a job or help them with a resume, and it's always like nonstop, I notice something is missing, I have to do something about this. It's more than they just coming to me. There's some attachment, you know. So who are the people that you want to help? I always tell my student, right? I said, it's not about you. Even though you're in class now, there are many life attached to you that you are still going to mentor them as well. So if you stop and you don't move forward, you are answerable to them. You have to step forward for them, not you. Because if you hold yourself down, you are holding them down as well. So it's always more than what we can see. It's a lot attached to us. So what problem do you have? Do they have to solve? So what problem do they have? And you want to help them to solve those problems. They don't have a job. They don't know how to map their career, right? And all of that. So what problem do they have that you have to solve for them? Think about that. So what's the solution to that problem that fires you up? Like you think, okay, oh yeah, this is the solution to this problem that this person is having. And you're excited to help them without even being paid for it. You just want to help. A lot of time you see me training students, I don't know them. When I hear their problems, their difficulties, sometimes I just let them go. It's crazy, but I don't know them. They don't have to even say thank you. If I felt led and I'm emotionally attached to their situation or whatever, hopefully they get to use this course in a good way and get to be productive with it. But if not, I've done my own bits. You understand what I'm saying? Or if you meet people and you just help them. There was a particular lady that coming from Clubhouse and she said, I want to do this and that. And there's another guy too. I just helped them 30 minutes. I don't even know them. He said, wow, you do all of this thing for free? She said, I need to get you some students for your classes because nobody's going to do this kind of thing. I don't have to know you. If I know that you need help, I'll help you. That's it. So let's think about it. What are the people that you want to help? Who are they? What are their problems that you have to help them to solve? What problem do they have? Do you have a solution? And that solution is burning and is firing you wherever you are, like you need to move. This solution needs to come out. You need to help people. That is your mission. And the more you sit down with this mission, you get frustrated and depressed. So many times we get depressed, right? We get frustrated, right? And I always tell people, find something fun to do. Do something creative because there's something that you need to do. When you do something great and creative and you are working your mission, you are so engaged, you don't even think about being depressed or being lonely because you are busy. I might be wrong, but most of the time, if you do that, you will notice that you even have less time to think about yourself. It's not as if you'll be doing that forever, but for that period of time, when you see yourself depressed, unhappy, lonely, just find something fun that your passion and just do it. You will notice that you forget that depression, you forget that loneliness, you forget that state of feeling somehow. You know what I'm saying? I want people to contribute towards that. Anybody want to discuss about your mission? Ms. Toots, Robert, Peju, Kaya?
Let me say something quickly, just, because you're talking, I like what you said about, understanding, who do you want to help, and also, like what problem do you want to solve, or what is it that you feel so strongly about? Because I did hear this come up, I believe it was actually for Amazon, because we're talking about tech careers and mapping. Because Amazon is actually really big on empathy, and they want people who understand and can relate to others, and how, what is their story? Again, we're talking about story, but what is it that people really feel so strongly about that they want to solve a problem? Because, again, when you look at people, everyone can code. If you look at the people who interview it for Amazon, probably most of them can code and they can solve things certain ways. But what they want to do is understand people who say, well, what I'm doing is going to help people, but how is the way that I write the code going to help others? And what are the things I need to think about for them that will make the experience better? So being able to think about those things and articulate them, or understand yourself enough to know those things, actually will even help in a job interview. So I just like the way that you brought that up, because I've actually heard this connecting directly with job interviews now, for specifically for Amazon, because that's actually something they look for. So if you don't have that and you don't know your mission, then you would definitely struggle in that interview. So I just wanted to point that out. It's great that you bring it up, because it's real. And no, for sure, Amazon looks for that. I'm Robert, and I'm done.
Thank you so much, Robert. And if you remember 2 weeks ago, I think that's what we discussed when we were talking about situational interview and behavioral interviews. And we're talking about who, when, what, how. And we're using the STAR method to discuss that. So that's exactly what you are bringing up now. So thank you so much, Robert, for echoing that. Any addition to discussing mission, Peju, Kyle, or Miss Toots, before we continue discovering our mission? And if you have any question or you want to chime in the audience, please raise your hand and come up, because after this particular discussion, maybe in another 10 minutes, we're probably going to close down the room. So if you have any question you want to ask, please come up now so that we can answer your question concerning your mission, your passion, and your talent. Trying to get your sweet spot. And on Sunday, we're going to continue with discovering your career, mapping, creating your career path, and self-assessment. We'll do all of that on Sunday. That will be part 2 of this program. We are laying the background right now. Any addition?
Can I maybe ask a question?
Okay.
So, because it sounds like you have a formula for the way that you think that this evolves in mapping the career. I was just going to ask, do you actually have, say, like a worksheet or some kind of a form that people can follow or fill out that would actually kind of walk them through your process and your thought process? I'm just kind of wondering, because I'm wondering if that might be helpful for people to have, or if that might be something that we could actually work on, or I would be happy to work on that with you if you wanted. It's kind of got me thinking that, having people go through that process and think about themselves might be really helpful, even if they don't, they hear it right now, but maybe just something they could take away from this today. But I'm actually taking notes, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it took a long time to prepare all these slides. Yeah, so it's going to be career planning and readiness assessment on Sunday. So we're going to have a bunch of questions. I think it's up to like 15 or 20 questions.
Okay, thank you.
And those questions, we'll ask those questions. It's going to be yes or no, so that we'll be able to know we're going to map our career and help us to do a readiness assessment. And then after that, I'll be able to do a career mapping, how you can succeed in your career from yourself up to getting to the job. What are the things that you have to do? And then we'll map it gradually. So I will discuss that on Sunday from bottom to top. So that's a pyramid that we use for that.
Okay, so we just have to stay tuned. Thank you so much.
If I give you all the tips now, you don't show up on Sunday, But I know you'll be. I know Robert will be here.
Well, I know I'm going to be back. If I can, I should be. So thank you.
Robert is always there, so I'm just kidding. Don't mind me. I'm just saying that we'll do that on Sunday. We have a lot of questions that we're gonna be going over and mapping doing our readiness assessment, so that we know if we're ready for the job market, or if we're not ready, then we have to think about it. So prepare ourselves for it. Because sometimes we think we are ready, but then you are not. So what do you need to do to get ready? So those will be for Sunday. Yeah. So okay. So I'll just continue. Discover your mission. So a couple of questions and a couple of things we're going to look at. What stories or headline create great emotions in you and make you want to get engaged? When you see those headlines, when you see those stories, you just create some emotions and you want to be engaged with it. That's your mission, you know. So think about your favorite movie, right? Most of us go on Netflix. Then think about that character that you would love to play in the movie. That movie that you watched. What do you want to, what kind of character do you think? Oh, this, I really want to be this person. Think about that. And ask yourself, why that character? Why are you connected to that particular character? Why? I want to play this movie. On this movie, I want to play this character. But why do I want to play that character? So that will help you to discover your mission. So if you are writing anything down at all, look at it. Your mission, your talents, your passion. Do you see any connection between them? And also I want to point out that even though you might have not have discovered your talent now, but I bet you when you look about, if you wrote anything, that if you actually look over it again, you'll be able to discover one or two. And maybe your talent is not anything that is in align to your career yet, but think about it, because you might have some transferable skill. Like I said before, we started discussing talent. There are soft skill and hard skills. A lot of those soft skill can be transferred to a transferable skills to a new role. You understand? So, for example, I will just mention that again: communication, writing, public speaking, designing, critical thinking. Those are talent, but those are soft skills. Self-motivation, passion, you like to help people. Those are skills. You like to think logically. You like to do dispute resolution. You know how to work with difficult people. You understand? So all those things are skills that you can use. Negotiation, networking. You are a great networker. You know how to network. You can help your customer get contract. Things like that. You can be a campaign manager, proposal manager, a project or product manager when you know how to communicate or discuss or negotiate. Those are skills. I know we've discussed that when we discussed about transferable skills in this room. That's why you have to be in these rooms, in our room, because I bet you always learn a lot when you leave. It's like you actually went through a 2-hour course because I tend to like teach. So I prepare my presentation and I present. So those are what we have for you today. Since you don't have any questions, know that next week we're going to be talking about, on Sunday, we're going to be talking about career planning and readiness assessment. Be ready to do your assessment on Thursday, on Sunday at 4 p.m. Faith, welcome. Faith just joined us. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, bro. This is awesome. I really appreciate finding you on Clubhouse here. I think this is one of the beauty of Clubhouse. LinkedIn was the first Clubhouse, but for text, I like this. For voice, because it conveys the emotion. So I really like this session. I have one question. As far as talent, so I'm a lawyer, right? I'm a foreign trained lawyer, and then I got my master's in policy. And now I am aware that the future is tech, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Deal with it now. Many people have been on this for decades, like you and maybe many other people. But for me, I was scared of math, and I just ran away. I was like, okay, law it is. I like to talk, I like to do research. And now, from what you said, there's a way to connect your old talents to tech and pivoting. And I just really want to let you know that right now I'm on your website, Top Group Technologies, just looking at what you do, and I'm very interested. I think what would be my best opportunity would be in design. I like to draw, I like to sketch. So I'm thinking of UX. I'm already taking some courses in UX design, and I just wanted to know what tips do you have for someone without any background in tech whatsoever who's trying to, kind of push against the grain. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So you're doing, so you think you like to draw a lot, right?
Yes, I like design. I feel like I've been designing in other parts of my life, and if what you say is true, then I should be able to convert that into a techish product kind of design.
Yeah, but if you love it, if you not get frustrated with it, that's good, because you're also a lawyer. Before you became a lawyer, that means you have something to do, negotiation or something about maybe communication, or you are good at policy or something. Because when you have law, you can easily do cybersecurity compliance, because they have a lot of policies on that side, and they're always looking for lawyers. And you don't even have to have anything to do with graphic, writing, coding, or doing design. Just go into that. And I trained a particular guy, right? This guy is from Kenya. He's been into, Toots might know him. He's a lawyer. He was a lawyer when he came to this country.
Yes, I know him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I worked with him when he finished the class and helped him, I was a reference to him.
Okay. Yeah. So this guy, right? And not only him, couple of them like that. So when they came to this country, right, they don't know how to find their parts. So they're looking like, okay, what will I do? So I told them, do cybersecurity compliance. Right now, he works for USDA. He writes their policy. And maybe he's only been there for like 3 or 4 years. He's now a top guy. All their privacy policy, everything does. Because now you're a lawyer, you're probably very good with policy, procedure, writing, engaging them, communication. So that is I will even say that is your area more than drawing or design. Because drawing or design is your hobby. It's your hobby, but it may not be your talent. You can do that by the side. But if you look easily into cybersecurity compliance, you can easily get in with that. Within 3 months or 2 months, you can get a job, a 6-digit paying or more job. That you can make like $60, $70 an hour. I bet you with that. Because you're already a lawyer. So all those policy procedure will just be like nothing to you, because you know it. And they're always looking for lawyers. All these tech companies are looking for lawyers in the area of cybersecurity. So that would be a very, very great one to look into. I'm not discouraging you, but it's just easier. It's easier because it's not technical, and you can always do that by the side. That's what I think.
I want to agree with you there, just in case he's still on the fence. And we did not talk about this before together, right? But yes, compliance is a space that would absolutely work for your background. So definitely look into that.
One thing I'd like to add to that, if you wouldn't mind real quick. So one of the things that I do a lot at the company I work for, we do contract negotiations with vendors a lot. And as you can imagine, with contracts, I don't have to tell you, they like to sneak little crazy things in there. We catch them all the time. Our legal team is like my best friend, because they save us from things that we don't expect from the vendors, because they're sneaky. I never trust them. The big thing from that, and the reason I'm bringing that up, is they are the MVPs. They have saved us a lot. And in the tech industry, you tend to ruffle a lot of feathers. There's a lot of similar IP out there, right? People get concerned about whether or not someone stole this or that. There's a lot of opportunity for someone who wants to do legal and tech. But one thing I will say, because you came up here specifically asking about learning about design, and one of the best things I think you can do, I'd love to connect with you kind of offline, because I think I can give you a couple links to some things I might do if you don't mind. But there's a lot of tutorials in terms of getting started with like a specific subset of design. So like if you're looking at mobile development, there are different types of libraries available for that. If you just want to learn like CSS, or if you're trying to get started with like more Photoshop, graphic design, there are different subsets of the UX design aspect that you can get started in. that will really, if you could focus on that one specific thing right away, they all connect to some degree, so it will help you learn the other aspects of UX, but just kind of focusing in on one specific one will help you learn the basics that you're looking to learn. So I just wanted to throw those two items up there for you. This is Kyle. I'm done talking.
Thank you, Kyle. And I hope we're able to trigger some other areas of you that you don't know, especially in the area of cybersecurity as well. So that's good. Thank you, Kyle, for volunteering to help. So please follow Kyle to guide you into that and also think about what we discussed. And if you have any other questions.
Thank you so much, Prof. I do have a lot of questions, but I'll jump right down to the crowd right now. I'll come up later. Thank you so much, Kyle. I just went ahead and followed you. I would love to connect, and thank you so much as well for your advice. Thank you. Prof, I do have more questions about the cybersecurity compliance. I've taken my notes, and maybe we could talk about it more. I'll also be, of course, in the class on Sunday. Thank you so much, all of you.
You're welcome. Just follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram. I'll answer your question. Thanks for coming by, Faith. Samori, thanks for joining us. Hope I didn't mispronounce your name.
No, that's fine. Samori is fine.
Yeah, do you have any question or want to echo?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm hoping I haven't been in the room very long, so I don't really know if this is appropriate. But I have a long career, and I've done what Robert is doing now, except just not senior, just project management. And I am doing what Kyle is doing now, if I'm reading the bios correctly. So I'm a cloud architect right now. One of the things I do on the side is I have my own business called OneMetric.io. OneMetric, really. So it provides entrepreneurs with a way to view their metrics and to kind of direct themselves towards a goal. It helps investors who have multiple companies under them or that they advise or that they invest in, bring all those in and have them, provide metrics up to the investors' goals. So I'm interested in product a lot, and I actually bought this site from someone else. I'm interested in product a lot, and so I've been looking a lot at product management as opposed to project management, which has been my background for 12 years. So what I was wondering is if you had any advice for that switch, like if that switch is actually even possible, or what are the pitfalls of it? And I know Ms. Toots and Robert and Kyle, you probably have, you must have seen people such as myself trying to make this change, and so I was just wondering what your opinion is. My name is Samori, and I'm done talking.
So I'd like to just jump right in here. You're very familiar. I think I actually follow you even. I don't know if I saw you in Marty Kagan's talk. Were you in that room by chance?
Marty Kagan gave a talk? Where?
I was just going to say, if you didn't have a chance, check out his book, Empower.
I have his book. Book. I just got it.
Yep. Give that a read. That's a really good way of kind of segueing into what you were looking for.
Okay. That's good. I was already on that path, yeah. So I have Marty's book. I've also been looking at Teresa Torres's stuff. Another room suggested that one as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good read too.
Yeah.
I know sometimes in this room we have some people that are product managers, senior product managers, like from Facebook. I can give you their profile. Maybe you can follow them, ask them some questions. But I know that project management and product management, they are kind of close, because companies like Apple, they create products. They tend to hire people that are product managers than projects. So that's what I noticed. So companies that create products tend to hire product manager. So you need to meet with people that are in those areas. They can guide you. So if you can connect with me, I can give you a couple of people on this on here. You can follow them on LinkedIn, and they have their own room. So also they are like a product manager. They can guide you into that area. And I don't think you're gonna have a lot of problem because you're already a project manager. So it's just going to be a smooth transition. But the only other thing is that you need to understand how they interview and how to have to tweak your resume to kind of fit what you're trying to do. I think those are the two areas you just need to look into and to network with those guys, because most of them are in the fan company already, like Facebook, AWS, Apple, and Netflix. I mean, and so on, and Google. So we have all of them. They come by sometimes to be on these rooms, and so if you can, they can be able to help you. So be a project manager or a product manager. Some of them, one of them just came by but left. Kristen.
Oh, so, Kristen
he's just jump in and jump out. So those guys are is with what's this company? What's this company again? PlayStation. So a lot of them like that, they are here. So if you can follow me, I'll give you a couple of them, point to a couple of them, because I'm always in rooms with them. I moderate their rooms too. So you can follow them and they will guide you. Okay.
Ms. Temi, if I may also, what I was going to say, and your name, sorry, is it Samori?
Yes, it is Samori.
Okay. So I was just going to say what I've done, because I actually, because it's helped me immensely just being here in Clubhouse and being in certain rooms and following certain people to actually help me frame up what I think the path for me would look like in going from a project manager to a product manager. But I think a lot of where I'm kind of getting the ideas on what that would look like for me personally has actually been coming from listening to those discussions of, listening to recruiters, what they're looking for, then going to those companies' job postings, looking at the job postings to see. And exactly like Ms. Temi says, it's projects, but they're very much product oriented. And so that's actually given me a lot of background on, what would maybe be my intermediate job, if you want to look at it that way, or the intermediate training and steps that I want to do, or in my current job, what could I do in terms of a different role within my company to give me that proper experience that would actually lend itself to making that next jump. So I was going to say, I've actually put together a quick list, and I'd be happy to share that with you on LinkedIn. To just kind of say, well, here's the Clubhouse rooms that I join kind of frequently, as well as some of the key people. And Kristen Bordeaux was one, and he actually jumped in and just dropped out of the room. But he's one that I definitely follow, just because it's a lot.
This club as a kid with just.
I'll reply back to you, and I'll actually send you that, because I've actually just put it together in a note that I keep on my phone, just because it's come up so many times now that I've just tried to make it easier for me to share that with others. So if you'd like to connect on LinkedIn, I would definitely send that your way and see if that would be helpful. I'm Robert, and I'm done.
That would be great. Yeah, I will do that. Thank you. I actually just applied to a product management position, but I didn't. Ms. Temi just said, you've got to modify your resume to fit that position, and I just thought I would hit them with my force of experience. And I basically just sent the LinkedIn version of the resume, but I didn't modify it at all. So I don't know if that works. I doubt it, but it's good to think about having to modify it to fit that role. But yeah, I'll follow. Robert, thank you. I'll follow you on LinkedIn. Follow up with you on LinkedIn, and Ms. Temi, I'll also follow up with you as well. Thank you very much. I'm Samori, and I'm done.
And also make sure that your LinkedIn is also matching your resume, because we have a lot of LinkedIn people coming to partner with us always in this room. Your LinkedIn page must match your profile. And Kristen always have this room every day at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I think, that they look at your resume and look at your LinkedIn profile and see if it's matching or something is missing and stuff like that. And the lady who just came by to and left, her name is Nikita. She looks at your resume and help you fix it and things like that. There are a lot of resources on here that can help you. Just connect with me and I'll be able to give you direction. They can help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you, everyone. I think we have come to the end of the room, end of the discussion today. I really appreciate everyone, Robert, Miss Toots, Kweju, Kyle, and everyone that came on stage, Somari, Faith, and people that are left already. So thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. As we close the room, I would like a last, tip concerning the topic that we're discussing today, clarity. Kyle, I'll start with you, then I go to Peju, Miss Toots, Robert, and I will round up. So what's your last tip for people that are trying to gain clarity in tech? Advice, tip?
The number one thing is to be flexible. The majority of people who work with me and work like I manage, I look for people that can be flexible and learn, are willing to learn, and are curious. So if you come with a curious growth mindset, you'll be able to succeed in tech.
Thank you. Peju?
Oh, thank you. I would say more information does not mean more knowledge. Sometimes information overload can actually lead to confusion instead of clarity. So I would say seek knowledge instead of just information. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's great. Miss Toots? Tutu? Okay, we go to Robert. Robert?
Okay, so Kyle already hit on the mindset one, so I'll actually just mention the other one. Is actually just listening and being aware, having some self-awareness, and take cues from when people come to you and ask you questions and when they give you compliments, because that's actually one way that they may be signaling your strengths to you. So just make sure you pay attention to that and use that information as part of your mapping your career and your job search. I'm Robert, and I'm done.
Thank you, Robert. I'm back. Thanks about that. For me, I agree with everyone. Information overload and always be flexible, right? You can get information overload because you don't need to know everything, right? It's good to have like an idea of a lot of things, what everyone does in tech, but you don't have to study it from A to Z, right? You don't have to be an expert in every aspect. Now, I do know some people who know a lot, because I've been to interviews and they will grill me on. I've been to an interview where I was sweating, and they were all males, and they asked questions for I didn't even know. I think they were asking questions on an architect level. It was just crazy, things I had no idea about, and I didn't even know that. I didn't think it was required. Because the lady said, "Oh, they like you, they want to interview you, or I want to bring you in for an interview." And I get there, and they're asking all these questions. I'm like, "Am I even going to be doing all this stuff now, or is it because you all have been doing this all your life, and you're just super smart, and so you're asking me these super smart questions? What is the point of this, right?" So for me, the tip is to know your strengths and weaknesses, right? And of course, to know your passion and your mission and your goal, right? But what I really, really wanted to say is tech is an ever evolving field, right? Tech is actually getting even more fast paced now than before, because now everything is digital. And we have all these tech people in Silicon Valley, we have all these startup companies, and everyone is trying to compete. Okay, we call them the big girls, right? The big girls, the tech divas, they're trying to outdo each other for the next product. You have to be able to evolve to what your company is evolving in, right? If you hear that your company is bringing a new product, that they're introducing a new product, or they want to just try this new product with this client, or they're getting a new certification in something, you might want to study about that particular thing. You might want to be an expert in that particular thing so that you can be the first person they can bring on board, right? Now, like, for example, if you know your company have clients that are, integrating and migrating their systems onto cloud, right? Onto whatever cloud it be, Google Cloud or AWS or Azure, you might want to learn something, one of those, right? You might want to learn AWS, right? And maybe get certification or be on your way to getting certified. You're always going to be learning something in tech, right? Now everyone's talking about these algorithms and these blockchains, and, AI, virtual reality, and machine learning. There's always something in tech to learn about. it's always evolving, right? Now people are creating robots, it's always ways to advance yourself in tech. So definitely you have to be flexible. Once you get into a field, you need to be flexible, you need to evolve. Because if you're not evolving, and you're not open to change, and you're not flexible, you're going to get left behind, right? Because you're not going to be on to the next hottest field, right? Because, you're stuck in that one thing that you've been doing all your life, think you're going to retire in it, okay. But now everyone's evolving. People are learning about algorithms, people are learning about, data, compiling data and, all these other new tools and these new products coming out. You need to be able to be flexible, and you need to be able to learn new information. You don't have to learn every information, but if it's that one thing that's new and hot, you can just focus on that one thing. And make sure it's useful to your organization or to your next mission, the next organization that you want to work for, or your next career move. Make sure it's relevant to you. You don't have to learn everything all at once. My name is Tutu, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Chitu. Thanks for that. So I thank you all, everyone. Kai, Peju, Ms. Tut, Robert, that are on the stage right now for moderating with us. I hope to see you all again on Sunday at 4 p.m. So will finish up with this part. Going to be part 2 of this discussion, tech career mapping and clarity part 2, where we discuss about mapping our career and actually doing our self-assessment. So we're going to do a career readiness. So thank you all so much. So my tip would be if you are honing your hard skill, don't forget your soft skill. Soft skills are easy, transferable skills that can easily get you into tech. Why? Because while you're learning hard skill, especially for people that are new into tech, when you are getting in with your hard skill, your soft skill will open the path, the way, and that will help you to make the learning curve to be easy to navigate and to smoothly transition into tech. So always remember your soft skill and your hard skill. If you have questions about what are soft skills, follow me on your YouTube. You will see when we discuss about soft skills, transferable skills, and all of that. Those are very important. So always remember, soft skills and hard skills work hands in hands. Thank you so much for joining. And if you have not followed the room, make sure you do that and follow the moderators. We're about to close down the room. I wish you success. I wish you greatness, and I wish you prosperity. Please stay safe out there and stay blessed. See you on Sunday, and God bless you all. Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.